Hello, good evening. My name is Bita Sadanandan, and today is the 5th of March 2026, and the time is 6:30 exact by my Apple devices. Um, now, okay, um, the area of body that we would be paying attention to in maintaining the health of is the region of the Achilles, which is about the region of the heel, above the region of the heels. Okay, this is what we call as the heel in colloquial language. But the heel is the back portion of the feet, which touches the ground. But it's also the region slightly above it. When we say the Achilles heel, you're talking about the region above what is anatomically called as the heel. We tend to relate to this Achilles region as the heel, usually, sometimes, colloquially, when anatomically it's the region below, which is the back portion of our foot, of our feet, which is anatomically called as a heel, the bone region about there. Um, okay, so when we are walking, or when, okay, I invite you to take a seat in a chair which has a surface that allows you to slightly lean back and find a backrest, preferably because so you can relax your back without you having to keep them upright, which means a backrest would help your muscles to relax, um, so that your muscles don't have to prop you up. So it's an opportunity to relax your back muscles. Choose such a chair. In other words, choose a chair with a backrest and hopefully with an armrest also, so your elbows can be rested on them, so your muscles don't have to hold up your elbows. And that brings about further relaxation about the region of your shoulders for the purpose of this exercise, of this awareness exercise. Um, I do need to mention that there are different kinds of chairs available, and I invite you after this session to try out sitting in different kinds of chairs, including a beach chair, yeah, where you can recline, and notice what that does to your state of awareness. When your back is leaning back with your head, eyes faced upwards, or at least looking upwards, the thought lines you have, what you tend to think, what you tend to experience about life would be different versus when you're sitting on a chair with the back upright, okay, where it's not a reclining chair. Also, if you have this, the base of your chair, the seat, in a kind of like a dip where your bum is dipping into and your knee is slightly up, then also you have a different set of thought lines, which may not be as well as you would like to, or has you be as productive as you could be, because that bum dipped in position raises your knee up and has you bend your spine forward in some way. Or if you have a backrest that has your spine straight, it is still in a way that your knee is closer to your chest. And that has you be productive in a way that is less than optimal. Okay? You have this audio to listen to. And if you're going to just check this out, you will notice a physiological difference in what you think, how you move. And also try chairs with an armrest and without an armrest. Okay, when you're sitting, say if you have to make decisions and your elbows are not having the support of an armrest, then the choices you need to make may be also from your elbows needing to hold you up, prop you up, while your decision-making processes need a little more relaxed posture. So all your different departments are supported by earth. For example, if you're keeping your elbows on an armrest, which is having a 90-degree posture possibility, wherein your knees can be at 90 degrees to your ankles and your hip. Your elbows can be placed in such a way that your forearms, your upper arms are parallel to your spine, and your spine can be upright at a 90-degree angle to your hips. Then what is possible from you being able to kind of like the Alexander president, okay, why am I saying Alexander? Abraham Lincoln. There is this image of the president sitting on a chair. That is quite the kind of chair I'm kind of referring to, where you would have this 90-degree benefit and to make the right decisions, kind of, where your skeleton is supported by a chair, which is supported by earth, and it's not at suboptimal postures. Yeah. Teachers have this kind of chair, but they may not have the armrest. Okay. They may have the armrest, but okay. But how you think would be different. Yeah. If you're having a soft cushioning, which is not going to make your bum tense, or if it allows for your tailbone to relax, which would be ideal if you can push your bum closer to your backrest, which then allows for your tailbone to be a little more hanging on top, which helps for a different set of thought lines. Versus if you're kind of slightly reclining about your base, then your tailbone could touch the ground. And then you would have to shift left and right because there's a certain discomfort. Your tail would like to have a thought of its own and contribute in the thinking process. It's kind of like a fishbone, like a fish. Yeah, your tailbone is when it's free, it can think with like a fish's head, with the fish's tail being about the region of your head. So your head, when the fish is free at the head end, then its tail can be free at your head end. So it kind of fans your thought lines. Yeah. It's a little playful and fun way. Yeah. Your brains would be having a little more aeration because the bones are a little more free enough to breathe. And there are several such beautiful possibilities. Yeah. Now, having said that, when you are sitting on such a chair, which then makes several things possible, you can also try a bounce ball every now and then, like a medicine ball. You can sit on it. Once you get your posture more right, you know what is good posture. Supported posture from a chair that supports your anatomically wellness factors, with earth supporting the chair. Once you have the experience of sitting in such a chair, try and make sure your knees are more often than not at a 90-degree to your ankles, because you can sit in a chair like that and then cross your legs. But once you have a physical sensation of what is supported posture, then try bouncing on a medicine ball. Yeah, go bounce, bounce. If your spine has gone a little stiff from sitting in other kinds of chairs, or you've just had to manage with different kinds, or you've never had the thought before of checking your posture, supported posture, then every now and then bouncing on that medicine ball will slightly soften your spine, and particularly about the region of your sacral joint, which is sacral bone, which is said to be a fused bone, but it begins to fuse only at the age of 32 of a person. And then there's a slight ossification where the bones tend to get more fused. And when that fuses, that's like the fish gills not opening and closing well. So the fish gills are not the fish is not able to breathe as well, then its movement of its tail is not as well, kind of, yeah? So what happens then is your wellness, your intelligence becomes a little more concrete than being able to be fluid versus crystalline. Humans are supposed to have their intelligence moving between concrete, fluid, and crystalline. If it's gotten a little more concreted, that's also because your sacral bone has gone a little more ossified. Or you've never sat on a chair that allows for your spine to breathe well. Your tailbone to then be free enough to breathe well. Or you've never bounced on a bounce ball, which gives a slight soft, a little bounce, 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 bounce. That becomes possible slightly, yeah? that then slightly helps you soften your backbone, yeah, which then allows for your brain to breathe a little more, okay, and your skull to breathe a little more, which is when concrete intelligence becomes a little more fluid, then becomes a little crystalline, and then becomes a fluid and concrete. So there's this movement between these three. It's like unlearn, learn, relearn, learn, unlearn, learn. So unlearn at one end, relearn at the other end, and learn at the center. So you continue to be a lifelong learner. Infinite loop. Unlearn, learn, relearn, learn, unlearn. Yeah. So it's a beautiful life. Yeah. So these are some of the things we do. People even walk on an H shape. This allows for that H shape to happen inside your different tissues regularly. Yeah, whether or not you walk on that H shape. Yeah. So it's called the infinity loop. But you get some ideas about what's possible. What is becomes healthier when you pay attention to your body in this sense. Yeah. The Rochelle chocolate. But okay, some nice things and all show up like that. Life becomes very interesting. Yeah. Now, with your posture, hopefully on a 90-degree thing, because then it becomes possible for you to have your Achilles region, the region above your heels, um, your ankles, region above your ankles, or the back side of your ankles, a little above that, or the region below your calves, above your heels, be able to be appreciated with its least tension posture. Optimum, kind of. Yeah. Why I would say that is the weight of your body is not on the region of your ankles. So your Achilles tendon do not have to be tensed in maintaining a posture upright. So appreciating what your Achilles tendon region is doing in making your life easier, healthier, be human, from noticing the natural relaxed posture of your Achilles, it becomes most possible when you're sitting in this posture, in a 90-degree posture. Yeah, 90-degree angle posture. Because when you're walking, the weight of your body is on your Achilles tendon. And then over and above the rested baseline, when you appreciate your Achilles in a rested baseline, and then you're noticing your Achilles when you're walking, you would be better appreciative of what the Achilles tendon is making available in the simple act of walking. Slow walking. But what your Achilles tendon is doing will be more appreciable. And then you can try twist, a slight twist movement, keep your feet there flat on the ground, and then turn your shoulders alone to the right side, which means your whole body would undergo a slight twist. Or you can just move your hip alone to the right side. Your feet being flat on the ground, straight ahead, parallel to each other, but only your hip turns to the right. And pay attention to the Achilles tendon. Then you'll notice a certain twist. And that twisting motion is possible not because you just moved your hip, but because the entire joint is connected. Your Achilles tendon is there, which is also why you can confidently move your hip. Because internally, intuitively, intrinsically, this relationship is there. If your Achilles tendon was hurt, you wouldn't be able to move as well. That would be painful. Yeah. Now, but it's like these are different departments: hip department, ankle department, shoulder department. Together, they form a certain biomechanical structure, which then makes life easier. And when all these departments are functioning well enough, then how life is experienced from least tension or least stress, biomechanical stress, then makes something possible which is not possible otherwise, because your body is always tense. So you're going, and then you're trying to look at life. You would be more interested in not having pain than looking at what there is to look at. Yeah. So it's kind of like going to a circus. There is all kinds of happy things. Food is there. There's all balloons and happy faces. But if you're having an ache, your ache is more important than anything else that's going on out there. at least so much percentage of your attention is more drawn to something is not working. Yeah, because your organization, yeah, is having a little stress. And then no matter how good a circus is going on out there, only so much percentage of life can you enjoy. Yeah. So I was here listening to some people who are talking about, oh, there is fertilizer in food. Yeah. And then there is colored stuff in food. They add artificial coloring, and rice also is contaminated. Milk is also contaminated. In Ayurveda, there's this mention of ajirne bhojanam visham. Yes, there is fertilizers. Yeah. There is also air pollution and different kinds of things. But if you don't digest the food that goes into your body, even if you're eating the most healthiest stuff and your metabolism is poor, you're going to have toxicity develop. So, if you have a healthier metabolism, even microplastics that's going into your body will get digested. Yeah. Corona, for example, infection goes into your body, and a human body formed by even what's something called as endosymbiosis, where it incorporated the virus that formed about in the course of evolution and formed our nervous system. And then for us to think what we need to think, we are kind of herding, like, shepherds herd sheep and cattle. Our body herds these viruses and bacteria into maintaining the human structure. Mitochondria is bacterial DNA. Nervous system virus, viral DNA. Yeah. And we yogena chitta vritti nirodha. Otherwise, this you'll have viral thought lines, bacteria having bacterial thought lines, fungi having fungal thought lines, and then you will be in between a circus between this entire microcosm. Yeah, you're at a puppet show between. No, no, it's not puppet show. You have a life, and microbes have their, say, kind of infection, opportunistic infection, and it's like there's a party going on. You to come, and you'll have cold and different other things, and you'll not be well enough. Yeah. So certain recalibration, rehabilitation of what it means to be human, or what it means for you to have a body that's human, is some of the things that I'm doing through this life. Yeah. So when you have a healthier metabolism, you are having a kitchen in the whole scheme of things, where even microorganisms can form a kombucha in your body, and they will supply healthier microbes for your gut bacteria so that the good bacteria grows. Otherwise, they're having a party and then you're having a stomach ache or having toxicity and all kinds of, ooh, not so pleasant experience, gassy, bloaty. And then opportunistic infection is just, yeah, somebody sneezes and then you're at a risk. Yeah. Otherwise, they sneeze, you being there, they go beyond their diseases because you're walkie-talkie, yeah, security system. Yeah, that's also called herd immunity. When many people are healthy, sick people also become healthy. Yeah, that becomes possible. It's a different line of defense. Yeah, that's what's possible through humanity across boundaries. When we have humanity, then immunity across boundaries. Yeah, then we have me versus you versus, oh, we are all part of the same planet Earth. And diseases will have to have another think. WHO's global list of diseases? Yeah. So some of what is possible when we are having a healthy body composition is what Nirbeeja Yoga makes available. What are the benefits of yoga? Now, when you have healthier metabolism, even microplastics and fertilizers also get digested. In fact, they will become material so that your body is getting stronger from within, neuroplasticity and all that. Otherwise, you're like itapatu English mutta, like a bubble. Somebody says something and you're ready for a trigger, a reaction. Yeah. Otherwise, the plastics go and fortify your internal structure such that you're becoming kind of like there's this idea of an aerogel where a heat treatment, water, yeah, carbon dioxide, they all go through a certain um, heat treatment such that they become like spacesuit. They insulate your body against natural protection, like neutrinos protecting your own body. There's like about so many trillions of neutrinos going through your own body every so many minutes, seconds. When your metabolism is healthy, the neutrinos protect your body, so to speak. Yeah, they become your natural invisible protection. So microcosm and macrocosm all supportive. Yeah, actually bettering the system. So you particles and vehicles all become um, your own friends, your your own family members, and then they go tell their family members. And that's also how life and limits in the multiverse. Yeah, they even found proteins in outer space. How do you think that is possible? Because a person like me is doing Nirbeeja Yoga regularly, and then I'm teaching how to have a healthy, wealthy, wise life, healthier, wealthier, wiser life. Okay. They say sunny side up. Yeah, sun does something such that life enlivens in the multiverse. We are on Earth at the effect of also the sun. Yeah. But when you have your own sun, that's also called Karna, Kavacha and Kundala, your body, your Swarnamani and all those. Truth. Gold doesn't, temple worthy gold don't just form overnight. It goes through some heat treatment. Yeah. So pay attention to the warmth in your body. Pay attention to any sense of moisture in your body. Pay attention to any sense of softness of your body, because you would be softly, warmly, moistly baking a cake. Yeah? Soft, nice cake doesn't form cookie. When you're always paying attention to how the cake is taking shape, it doesn't become a cookie, like a hard crusted cookie, like fried eggs. Yeah? Instead, you will be maintaining a soft, fluffy, omelette kind cake, soft. Yeah? Healthy life, otherwise you become ossified, like your bones become a little ossified, and then you'll make creaky, cranky sounds. That is also called as old age, where age is advanced glycation end products. Sugar metabolism, suboptimal sugar metabolism. Sugar is a right chiral molecule. Fat and protein is left chiral. So if you're aging, your ability to do the right thing becomes less able, because the sugar molecules are in the process of metabolism leaving advanced glycation end products. So they're kind of forming cookies, layers, caking your own seven dhatus. Yeah. So you can do the left thing, whatever is left after all, um, over the years. You go to school, you've had those happy, nice days, and you can have nostalgia as you age, like advanced glycation end products. And over the years, you become less mobile, you become less efficient, because there is advanced glycation end products. Your ability to do the right thing becomes less, and you're doing whatever's left. Yeah? Whatever energy is left, whatever thought lines are there left, whatever dreams are left, you work on them. Instead of turning around what didn't work, so that also becomes life. Sukha and dukha also becomes part of the fertilizers that then supplies your healthy, nice dreams. So you don't have to live whatever dreams are left. You can also live the dreams which you've had as a baby. Because all those memories become possible because your metabolism is good enough. Your left chiral metabolism and your right chiral metabolism is all good. So it's also called Hadha. Sun and moon, yeah, both is metabolizing well enough. And you have the benefits of yoga, left and the right thing. Your mother and father, because masculine and feminine. That's also called daylight, sunlight is the mid-range between light and dark. Vibgyor, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Yellow is kind of like the mid-range. Sunlight, daylight. You'll have a pleasant golden age, light, yeah? And warm, balmy breeze, and all happy things, and sunny side up, and oh, it is nice, yeah? You have a pleasant day. It's like a Christmas day, springtime, not summertime, springtime. And there are other seasons also. You will notice other people going through the summer and winter and all that stuff, and you will have your moments too. But human beings, it becomes possible for human beings to have the Garden of Eden, all the time tropical climate. And then Other planets go through their summer, winter, all of those seasons because they will be in different stages of having springtime, you know, Garden of Eden, tropical weather, and all of that. Because the particles will go and inform other particles. Yeah. They're like, which side did you wake up? The thing is, when you don't know science and what is possible from Prakritik, yeah, this is why human beings are designed. Our human body is designed to live in life in the multiverse. And when you're doing Nirbeeja Yoga, when you're doing Samudra Manthan, let's just say you wash your clothes regularly. You use a washing machine, it is cleaning clothes. It's cleaning the fabric of time space. Similarly, when your body is going through the Nirbeeja Yoga experience, that's like your body being a washing machine, regularly washing the fabric of time space, which is your body material. When we brush our teeth, we brush the part of the skeleton which is visible to us. Yeah. When we wash our body, have a bath, it's the outer surface which is getting washed. The inside is not. It's still caked with age-old material which has left precipitates from sukha and dukkha, also called age, advanced glycation end products. We're not even talking about leftover from protein suboptimally digested or fat suboptimally digested. You're not talking the left stuff not properly digested. We're only talking about the right stuff and our ability to do the right thing getting affected. Yeah. So we get a little cantankerous sometimes. Yeah. So when you can pay attention to your Achilles. Oh, there is so much to yoga. Okay, we will stick to the Achilles. Okay, so when you're sitting in your ankles in a rested posture, anatomically rested posture, sitting on a right angle chair or Abraham Lincoln chair. Yeah, the image of Abraham Lincoln with a chair, that kind of a chair. And then you can notice the relaxed posture of your Achilles region, Achilles tendon. Try moving your feet up and down with your heels touching the ground. This is about movementless yoga. How is that going to look like? Okay, let's do that. Because a lot of people cannot feel their Achilles, which I wonder if that's the reason why I've been talking about so many other related topics than about the ankles. Because who is in the room or who is listening to me also has an effect on what I speak. Because of don't know how their day has been, don't know how their experience of life in at this point in time in this geographical location has been, wherever you're sitting, and we are sitting from different places. I don't know who all is listening to me from where, and who is in the room. It's kind of like the mind of the room also affects what I speak. Yeah. So every session is different because of several influencing factors. Yeah. Nevertheless, there are different facets to what yoga makes available. And then about the region of the Achilles, we can a little more pay attention to. Maybe the Achilles region at this point in time for the group of people who are there in this session is not as much easily accessible. Paying attention to the Achilles may not be easily accessible. And so I'm talking about several related factors so that the group present today can over time be able to feel their Achilles over time. Yeah. Nevertheless, I will introduce a little more so you can feel your Achilles a little better. So keeping your feet flat on the ground, with your heels rested on the ground, raise only your toe and the front portion of your feet, such that you can feel a stretch at the region of the Achilles. The back of your legs, lower legs, feel a little stretch. So you lift the front portion of your feet up and rest them back at the same time. Move them at the same time because your hips are rested on the chair. Move them both at the same time. And now move one down and the other up without touching the ground. Only the heel is on the ground. but your feet slightly, it's kind of like you pedal, yeah? Just move one and the other up and down. And notice the difference in the stretch at the back of your legs, back of your lower legs. Yeah, back of your legs, all the way to your hips, or at the back of your lower legs, the back of your knees, back of your thighs. You're likely to feel a stretch, even if you're sitting, because the muscles are contiguous. Yeah, continuous in that stretch. Now, place your feet flat on the ground and notice if there is any difference between, when you're moving, how did the back of your feet feel? Back of your legs feel? And without movement, do you notice those muscles a little more prominently because they've just had an exercise? Yeah. And notice if the front of your legs are feeling a little more tired. Chances are the front of your legs feel a little more tired because only the back has gotten an exercise, the front hasn't gotten as much an exercise. Yeah. Now, stretch your legs with your, being seated, just stretch your knees such that the feet are on the ground, but you can stretch your toes in such a way that the toe line, your great toe to your hips is one line. Just stretch your toes in such a way with your heels on the ground such that your great toe, ankle, knees, hip can be one line. Yeah. Your legs, both legs can be parallel but nicely stretched about your ankles. And then relax. Relax that stretch and again stretch forward. Stretch your ankles forward, including your toes. Like a ballet dancer's stretch. Yeah, where the base of your foot nicely curls in slightly. It's a different kind of a stretch. And now relax. Bring your ankles back, bring your knees back to the 90-degree position. And now notice if the front of your legs feel any different or less tired than the back of your legs. That's a little stretch. But in this exercise, you have also in some way stretched the sides of your legs. Or at least you're able to notice some way a difference about the sides of your legs. Now you could do the stretch again. Yeah. Place your knees again at a stretched angle, just like how we did the toe stretch, ankle stretch. And this time, instead of stretching your toes, move your feet left and right. Like you're saying bye. When you wave bye to somebody, you slightly move the left versus right side. Okay, that's a different kind of a bye. But the side of your great toe, bring it backward. The side of your little toe, move it forward. And then alternate it, such that the side of your little toes backward and side of your great toes forward. And then this time, pay attention to the stretch in the sides of your legs. Because that's possible. That bye movement about your feet is possible because there are stretching muscles about the sides of your legs. Do them a couple of times. Slow movement, not fast movement. With Nirbeeja Yoga, you do slow movement. Slow is fast. And then bring your feet back with your knees at 90-degree angles. And now notice, how does your legs feel? You're more likely to be able to feel your legs. And in terms of softness, in terms of warmth, in terms of moisture, because your feet may be sweating. You may not be used to this kind of an exercise or movement because you're more likely to sometimes just go about your daily activities. You're likely to appreciate a little more sweating about your legs. And that's good. For today's exercise, if you can feel your legs this way, we are still making great progress. For some people, you have no idea, they've never done this in their lifetime. Yeah. You are a little more aware. You're more aware of the hell of your body, which you didn't know that has a physical representation, and hell is not bad. Yeah, if you don't cook well enough, there's also the heart testing stone in hell, in the demon world. Yeah, where all your animalism, your animal states are there about your legs. Fight, flight, freeze, it's your legs which have the animal sense. So, demon, there's this movie called The Golden Compass. And then there, in that movie, there is a representation that every person has an animal demon, a daemon. Like if you see Indian gods and goddesses, they show a person and then they show an animal. Yeah, like goddess.